They did the mash. They did the monster mash. The monster mash. Oh, well, maybe I'm not Bobby Boris Pickett, but I think you get the idea of how I'm starting off this week's show, because Halloween is Thursday night. It's time for all of the ghosts and goblins. It's time for all of the bats and spiders. It's time for all the vampires and all of Frankenstein with a couple of electrodes popping out of his neck. Well, I don't have electrodes popping out of my neck, but I can be a little monstrous. Okay, enough of that. Let's talk about tricks or treats a little bit. And you know what? It just seems as though both Syracuse and Buffalo pulled some tricks on us last week. You know what? I almost feel like channeling a good person that I've always admired, because he always spoke his mind. Good old Jim Mora. Couldn't do diddly poo. Couldn't run the ball. We didn't even try to run the ball. We couldn't make a first down. Couldn't do anything. We sucked. Yeah, that's all we did. We sucked. Horse shit. Total horse shit. You know, the son of a you-know-what. We sucked. Oh, well, I wasn't wearing a New Orleans Saints thing when he did that. Of course, I can put on my Indianapolis Colts when talking about Syracuse. What a lost season this is. And I tell you what, we're a team that looked like it was top 25 ranked and everything. You know what? This season went to hell in a handbasket. You know what? Our backs are up against the wall, especially going down to Tallahassee and getting pasted by the Seminoles. And you know what? To channel more again, that was a disgraceful display. In my opinion, that sucked. Hey, Mr. Mora, you think we can do a bowl game? Bowl game? Don't talk about bowl game. Period. Bowl game? You know, I just hope we can win a game the rest of the season. Yeah. Of course, I don't have a doll here where, I could rip the head off and... You know? I'm not going to be able to do that a la Jim Mora, but I'd like to do that to an Otto the Orange doll. Boy, what happened? You know what? This is almost a lost season right now. The offensive line coach needs to go. The offensive coordinator needs to go. Babers has got a lot of rearranging to do. I don't think it's time yet for him to go, but if we have the same thing happen next year, who knows? Might be a good idea for him to go. Orange is the new fast. Well, I'll tell you what. Orange is the new last. And what about Buffalo? Ugh. You know what? I had a sinking feeling about this team for a while. Even though we were 5-1, doing pretty good, we were winning ugly. We didn't exactly have an elite offense, didn't exactly have elite games to showcase what was going on. And when the lowly fish starts gashing us a little bit in the running game, boy, Philadelphia, who's as inconsistent as chocolate syrup, comes in and pace us with over 200 yards rushing. And all of Allen also doing all those mistakes. Philadelphia comes in and runs up a 31-13 score. Well, looking we're the best cheesesteaks in Buffalo, if you know what I mean. And you know, to put it mildly like Jim Mora, in my opinion, that sucked. A lot of tricks for a lot of fans around here, not a lot of treats. But I do say we did get a little treat. Because guess what? Even though it's in the toilet bowl, we got a local rivalry coming back after about 15, 16 years. Yes, it's Mynderse and Waterloo in the Connors and Ferris Bowl, a.k.a. the Toilet Bowl. Yeah, we get a couple extra games for teams that don't make the Section 5 playoffs. That's what I want to call it. the Connors and Ferris Bowl, a.k.a. the Toilet Bowl. Because, we both want to flush these seasons right out of existence. Of course, Waterloo's had a somewhat decent season, not good enough to make the sectionals, but Mynderse, boy, they struggled with this federation schedule. Thing is, we were supposed to maybe meet during the regular season, but then I think they had to take one other schedule because they went to 8-man football. But oh well, we finally get what we want. We're going to get, hopefully, a pretty darn good crowd at Tom Coughlin Stadium. And you know what? Hopefully, this won't be like the Mynderse Waterloo games of the past, where there were hundreds of yards and penalties, and there were fights on the field and in the stands. Of course, those were the Mynderse Waterloo games of yore. It's going to evoke back a lot of memories around here. And you know what? I hope it's a pretty good game, as I think the consolation prize for whoever wins is a date with Cuba Rushford. Well, whatever. But it's the return of a grand old rivalry. Yes, Mynderse and Waterloo. At least this Halloween we'll get some treats around here. But who decided to schedule the game on a Wednesday night? I guess the ones that play the Connors and Ferris Bowls don't want to take away the thing for the sectionals. They don't want to take away the splendor of it. Of course, it's on a Wednesday night. Thursday night is Halloween, because they don't want any tricks or treats going on, and you know how the crazies can come out. But they might do the Monster Mash. Oh well, speaking of Halloween, for years I've always watched It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. It's one of the things of childhood that I could never put away. It's always entertaining. But who thought the producers of It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, were possibly channeling John Wayne? Yeah, you ever hear Sally talk to Linus while Linus is writing his letter to the Great Pumpkin? "What are you doing, Linus?" Yeah, doesn't she sound like the Duke there? "What are you doing, Linus?" What if he responded in kind? "I'm writing a letter to the Great Pumpkin. And Pilgrim, I'm gonna mail this whether everybody likes it or not." Yeah, good way to channel John Wayne. You gotta wonder. Well, of course, for 55 years he's been going out to that pumpkin patch wondering if the Great Pumpkin is gonna rise up, fly around with his bag of toys for everyone. And you know what? For almost 55 years, he hasn't seen head, knob, or tail of the Great Pumpkin. Oh well, it's good to have an imagination. Of course, look at my shirt. When I went to the state fair one year, they had a clown that was one to be dunked, and the thing is, he was supposed to hurl insults and jokes. He looked at me and said, "Hey, Charlie Brown, there is a Great Pumpkin." Oh well, it doesn't hurt to have a good imagination, or what can they say? A lot of tricks or treats this week. It's Halloween, guys. It's almost time for November. Come on, can Syracuse get on track? Can Buffalo shake this off? Let's hope there's treats and not tricks. I'm Ken Haas, and that's my story this week.